With me all. Hands off Venezuela! Hands off Venezuela! Free President Maduro! La lucha sigue! Libertad, socialismo o muerte! ¡Venceremos!
Justice, you say how?
Free Maduro right now!
Free Maduro right now!
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
Free Maduro right now! Free Maduro, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
Free Maduro right now!
Free Maduro right now! No blood for oil!
Hands off Venezuela soil!
Hands off Venezuela soil!
No blood for oil! Hands off Venezuela soil!
Hands off Venezuela soil!
No blood for oil!
No blood for oil!
Hands off Venezuela soil!
Hands off Venezuela soil!
Up with liberation!
Up with liberation!
Down with occupation!
Down with occupation!
Today I feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's some hope. I feel like there will be a space that will become our own for every Venezuelan out here and every Venezuelan in Venezuela too. We have the right to have a place that we're proud of and where we belong, and that was taken from us more than 20 years ago. So.
Well, this has been like a roller coaster, emotionally speaking, but now in this very moment, a little bit more calm. We think that we have gotten an important first step toward this transition to democracy. As a Venezuelan, we are very, very much thankful to President Trump for this commitment to eliminate Maduro from that has been kidnapping the whole society, our whole economy, who has been destroyed, the country completely looted and converted our country in a hub of terror and terrorism. This is not Venezuela. This is what this regime is.
And I guess that holistic transition that Marco Rubio spoke about, and you know, people talking about the need for that peaceful transition. From where you are, tell us what the general feel is in regards to that.
Well, look, there's a lot of division in the US around this. The point that the Trump administration has been making around targeting Venezuela in the first place is they've said that they've persistently run this drug trafficking operation to not only fund different kinds of terrorism enemies of the United States, but that it's been directly coming through to the US, and it plays very strongly into the real catastrophe they had at the southern border over the Biden administration years. There was, I mean, different estimates between 7 and 11 million people walking across the southern border, and there's been the huge operation from the Trump administration to wind that back. But people smuggling is an operation, that was a business model, and they're saying that that was all coming back directly to Venezuela. Now, of course, many Americans don't buy that. They don't think that that's realistic. They don't understand why America's going around shooting oil tankers. But that's also playing into an element of the Republican Party. There's been members, the ones who would probably be more the traditional Tea Party members, but those kind of ones who the dirtiest word you can use is neocon. They say this really looks like, I mean, when the last example we have is of an action by George W. Bush, it kind of plays into that, why are we playing the world police? But they do also intensely dislike the drug trafficking, people smuggling that's been impacting the US quite intensely over the last few years. So there is definitely, it's not an agreed upon thing at a domestic level in the US, but it does seem like it's a bit far removed. There haven't been any US troops left on the ground, there haven't been any who died in the process of this. If we look at the Noriega example, I think it was 23 American servicemen died in that operation. So the kind of perception is that, geez, they pulled it off and it went well. And this is making America look strong again on the world stage after the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. To have the US manage to pull off dropping a bunker buster over Iran and then pulling off something like this and doing it well, there is that element of, geez, at least like we're kind of looking strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, the federal charges tomorrow for Maduro and his wife. What are you expecting to come out of that?
Well, it does look like it will be one of those kind of perfunctory hearings where it's more administrative in nature, but we will see just more of that internal court. One of the best examples we actually have of this is kind of recently looking at Donald Trump going through his trials. There won't be cameras in the courtroom, is my understanding, but we'll see some of those sketches, and we'll find out longer term about where they'll be staying and under what conditions. And there still, I think, will be the question about why New York and then potentially moving it down to Miami. And I think there will just be a very public show as much as they can using the state level restrictions. Technically, it is actually against the Geneva Convention to be showing images of Maduro and his wife in ways that would bring a public discredit. There is a precedent about not mocking and making people look ridiculous when you're carrying out these kind of arrests, but that seems like something that previous administrations have been more concerned about. There was the question when you might remember when they released the mugshot of Saddam Hussein, but then this time around they just went straight for it. And so I think there will be kind of as much of a perp walk as they can try and get out of the whole process.
Annalise Nielsen, thank you so much. Marco Rubio has defended the US operation capturing Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro. He says it was a legal military operation and there were limitations in notifying US lawmakers about the plan.
This is not an invasion. We didn't occupy a country. This was an arrest operation. This is a law enforcement operation. We can't notify them we're going to do it on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday, because at some points we didn't know we were going to be able to carry this out. We can pick and choose which ones we go after. We have court orders for each one. That will continue to be in place until the people who have control over the levers of power in that country make changes that are not just in the interest of the people of Venezuela, but are in the interest of the United States.
Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro has been charged with narco-terrorism after being captured by US forces. He's currently being detained in New York and is expected to face court tomorrow. CB Cotton has more on the proceedings.
Ousted Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro will be arraigned tomorrow in federal court at noon Eastern. He'll be driven there from this federal detention facility where he's currently behind bars. Since he's arrived here, we've seen both protest and celebration outside the court, outside this prison. Take a look at this. Hundreds last night waving Venezuelan flags and people cheering for Maduro's downfall as he arrived at the Metropolitan Detention Centre. But today, another gathering. Protesters chanting, "Release Maduro right now," and condemning the U.S. military action that got us to this point. Maduro, for his part, appeared to smile and even wish people good night and Happy New Year as he was processed by DEA agents last night. Attorney General Pam Bondi said he'll face the full wrath of American justice when announcing the 4-count superseding indictment against him. Prosecutors allege Maduro ran a corrupt, illegitimate government powered by drug trafficking that flooded the U.S. with thousands of tons of cocaine. Maduro was charged alongside his wife, his son, and 3 others, including a leader of the Tren de Aragua gang. Prosecutors say they used narco-terrorists, violent cartels, and military-grade weapons to protect the scheme and line their own pockets. The 25-page indictment spells out how Maduro allegedly kept the machine running, providing government cover, law enforcement protection, and logistical support to keep the drugs moving. The case builds on charges filed back in 2020, charges that Maduro then denied. Former Attorney General Bill Barr, who oversaw the 2020 case, argues the Trump administration has proven that Venezuela was engaged in illegal activity and a national security threat. So he says the months-long pressure campaign against the country and arrest of Maduro was legally sound.
It's really our choice of what's best for the American people. And he's decided to bring him to justice and use law enforcement powers. And, I think that's admirable and it shows a great deal of restraint.